going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
The Summit of Lawrenceburg is the premier senior and assisted living community in the region. The Summit makes it home for you or your loved one with diverse suites that welcome and encourage community, plus gathering spaces, neighborhoods, daily activities, and a wonderful staff that supports you every day.
Hi, I'm Tara Blue. I'm the new director of the Summit, and we would like to invite you and your family to come and tour our facility. We would love to see you here.
Let me tell you about a place that has it all for your home, bedroom, kitchen, lawn, and more. It's a home-owned and home-operated business that's been around for over 70 years, so you know they're doing something right. At Swap and Shop Center in Lawrenceburg, you'll find top name brands for every room of your house and top brands for the outside too. Looking for appliances, televisions, couches, safes, bedding, mowers, and well, the list goes on. So make the drive today to 824 North Military Avenue in Lawrenceburg and be treated right.
There's no job too big or too small for Gonzalez Lawn and Landscapes. Owner Chris Gonzalez works hard to make your commercial or residential properties one of the neighbors will envy. You won't find a lower price anywhere else, and that's a guarantee. We offer mowing, landscape removal, small construction jobs, and more. Our team is licensed and insured to ensure the best work for Lawrence County and surrounding areas. Your satisfaction is our goal. We won't leave until you're happy. Call today to set up a free quote.
Make your property rock and roll with services from G&S Excavating, specializing in white sand, compost, mulch, topsoil, landscape gravel, and steel landscape edging. Turn to the pros who know how to make your project shine with years of experience. The best part is they're locally owned and operated. Choose from a vast selection of mulch and rock from their conveniently located facility at number 3 Valley Road in Lawrenceburg, just off Buffalo Road. Phone 931-279-3841 and get started today.
Hey, this is Phil Hooper. Get the look you want for your favorite school, church, or business with apparel from HD Ink Screen Printing in Leoma, Tennessee. Got a logo you need embroidered or screen printed? Let HD Ink give you the professional look that sets the bar in today's world. We do fundraisers and custom designed apparel and so much more. Call today, 931-201-2961, or come see us at our new shop located at 26 Ingram Road in Leoma. Remember, HD Ink for the look you want and the look you deserve.
Jack Davis Insurance, located at 201 West Gain Street in Lawrenceburg, has you covered through life's obstacles. Jack Davis specializes in group insurance for businesses and institutions of all sizes. With coverage for life, accidents, cancer, critical illness, short-term disability, dental, and vision, Jack Davis can customize a plan to meet every need. Now available Medicare plans for seniors. Contact Paige Davis at 931-492-9284 today for Medicare Supplement, Medicare Advantage, and prescription drug plan insurance. Serving Lawrence and surrounding counties since 1987, call the team at Jack Davis Insurance today at 931-242-5225.
LUS is committed to our customers, from providing and maintaining energy-efficient utility services to friendly, helpful customer service. LUS is there. At LUS, we're always challenging everything we know, every day. We strive to improve efficiency and reliability while focusing on our responsibility to our customers and the community. It's our promise to provide dependable service to our customers every time. Because we don't just work in Lawrence County, we live here too.
Are you looking to buy or sell? Are you intimidated by the process? Or maybe you don't know where to start? Make things easy and start by calling me, Jacob Patterson, at 931-279-1707, and I can make it an enjoyable and stress-free experience for you and your family throughout the buying or selling process. Check out my current featured listings at Jacob Patterson Real Estate Agent on Facebook, and yours could be there next.
Truett's Garage Doors in Leoma, Tennessee is a certified AMAR dealer. Truett's has been the region's go-to source for all things garage doors, including new installations, repairs, and maintenance for over 20 years. Backed by the gold standard of AMAR with top quality design and sustainability, Truett's reputation of top customer service, experience, and expertise is known far and wide. So when you're looking for a new garage or commercial door, need one fixed or maintained, you're in luck with Truett's and AMAR. Phone today, 931-201-6464. A&M Medical is Lawrence County's newest medical clinic, specializing in urgent and primary care. Practitioners Andrea Bain and Meredith Hutton bring years of experience and compassion to keep you and your family healthy. A&M Medical features a separate well waiting room to meet your needs. Visit today and ask about A&M's weight loss program and telemedicine services. That's A&M Medical, located at 2367 Highway 43 South in Leoma, Tennessee.
Make your lawn a legacy. At Legacy Lawn and Landscapes, we put more than 16 years of experience into your goals. We won't meet your expectations, we'll exceed them. We offer consultation, installation, maintenance, hardscapes, construction, and land clearing services. Owner John and Jamie Brewer with their team are dedicated to providing the highest quality landscape services to commercial and residential clients in Middle Tennessee. Service, teamwork, results. That's how you leave a legacy.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
There we go. We're good.
Oh, we're good?
Yep.
We back?
Okay.
You got us?
Now we're officially here on
And now
X
we're
Sports
live.
Live.
That was just a,
that was just a
for like 3
preview.
weeks.
Yeah.
And what's an X Sports Live without some technical difficulties?
It's every show. I can hear us echo. Okay. Yep. So now back to what I was saying. It's good to see these guys again. It's been a while. How were the holidays, Clint? Now you got a second chance to say what you said again.
Mine were great. Had all my kids in. Thanks, Crash, for that
Poor Crash.
No, it was great. It's first year. Hadn't had to plan around Christmas tournament. You know, we were playing basketball in. It was weird, but it was really, really nice. So it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the same for me. Spent time with the fam. Really, man, it was just a good time just to relax.
Yeah.
And just take it in, and got to the new year and done something a little different this year for the new year. We didn't stay up late. Yeah. We actually got up the next morning with a group and had breakfast instead of staying late. So that was different. It was good. I feel like that may be a tradition that we carry on. But other than that, it was good. Glad to be back, though. Kind of get back in the routine of things. And
I do have to say, you was talking about New Year's. And I think everybody knows kind of my journey in 2024, but it was really nice not having to get up to apologize about anything I did and wake up not hungover for the first time in a long time on New Year's. So
we might have to have a show of things that you've done on New Year's.
No, we don't.
To know what you've had to apologize for.
Yeah, it was really, really nice. I think me and Gretchen stayed up and watched the ball drop. We watched all the festivities from Nashville. Yeah. And as soon as it was over, we was asleep.
Listen, we didn't make it till midnight. I think my wife and my son, they started theirs with the Mexican one that went off at like 9:30 or 10.
Oh yeah. Y'all had Cinco de Mayo New Year.
and then I mean, it was way before midnight, and I was like, golly, it's bedtime.
Yeah. Well, I was up at midnight on New Year's, not by choice. It was because my newborn has been keeping us up.
I was going to say, you need to let everybody know.
Well, I didn't know you were going to lead right into that, but that's what I was going to say. Yeah. Congratulations.
Congrats.
We've all congratulated you, but publicly
we've all got to see pictures. We haven't got to see her in person.
Yeah. It'll be soon.
It'll be soon. Yeah. But yeah, I know y'all are glad to have her. And
yeah. I will have to say, but you called me earlier, and I'm sure you heard her.
I did
on the phone. Right when she heard your voice, she exploded, if you know what I mean, and had a blowout. So she's like, "Ooh, Dusty's on the other line. I got to show off now." So, but baby's doing good. Mama's doing good. Like a lot of people who've gone through kids, newborns don't quite know the difference between day and night right now. Last night was a lot of fun. Baby was up from 3 to 7. Then our dog decided to take an Andre the Giant size pee in the middle of our bed. So, we were living the dream last night at our house. But it's been a good holiday. Had a good, bring in a perfect gift of a new child in the world, and got to celebrate my birthday with my son at Monster Jam this past Sunday, and I'm telling you what, nothing brings more joy to a 2.5-year-old's face than watching giant things crushing cars.
Yeah,
and, he likes wrestling and he likes monster trucks.
I mean, what else do you really need in life?
Just all American boy right there.
Yeah, I mean, what he literally, I think he's learning reading by watching monster trucks because he looks El Toro Loco, Gravedigger, Megalodon.
Listen, we always say it's bad for him to sit right in front of something all the time, but you're right. They pick up on that.
He knows everything. But let's get into some local sports here, guys. They've been back and busy. We've had Christmas tournaments, but guys, we're a week away from district play. Kind of start off with what happened over here the other night here, Dusty. I think, I've been here this is going to be, I think, my 5th season, basketball season I've been here. Watched a lot of Lawrence County girls basketball. That might be one of the best wins I've seen them have, beating a excellent, really good Lincoln County girls team. Down 7 with 1.5 minutes left. When they couldn't hit free throws, nothing was going right. For some turnovers, hit some free throws, some girls step up in a big way, 4 girls in double figures, and come away with a pretty signature win right at the right time of the year.
That's what I said. I actually messaged Coach Scott today and just congratulated her. I mean, she coached her hind end off last night. That was a great job. It was all around. But like you said, 1.5 minutes to go, you're thinking, golly, another game right here in the fourth quarter like it was over in Lincoln County. And we have been talking about it all night. Cabry needed to hit that big shot. Mm-hmm. Well, she come off that high screen and hits the 3. Yeah. They got the foul, and it kind of turned, and then Leah Dixon took over and
hit some big free throws.
She did, and
on a night that wasn't very good from the free throw line leading up to that.
Well, with 3 for 10,
they were 3 for 10 from the line when Leah stepped up to hit the free throws that tied the game, and they finished the game 9 of 10.
All right.
So that's a pretty clutch way to go.
Yes. And that's such a like I was telling AJ, that just shows where she's at as a freshman. That's a big game. I know Lincoln County's not the district anymore. But that atmosphere last night, we talked about it. It was flat.
A little weird.
Even before the game started, you could have heard a pin drop on the floor. It's like nobody was into it. And then the game started, and it was kind of just And then about 4 minutes to go in the game,
everybody woke up.
It's like everybody woke up.
All of a sudden, the ball game broke out.
Yeah, we're playing basketball here. Yeah. And I want to say something. I'm fixing to call out our student section because I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a daughter that's a senior.
Okay.
I'm calling out our student. That sucked last night. They got to do better. Student section's got to do better.
Well, don't go a little easy on them because it is technically still the holiday. I think this whole week, kids, parents, everybody's just trying to get back.
When they're in the stands.
I think they're just trying to get back in the groove of it.
When they're in the stands, they need to be in the game.
Of course, it was a home game, and you really don't have an excuse not to be there, and school's back in. But give them next week. They'll be back. Look, I've had 3 kids go through it. You don't know what kind of play you're going to get out of them. You don't know what kind of fan participation you're going to get. You don't know who's going to show up. You don't know what during the holidays. I mean, it's just chaos.
I'm still saying it. They was in the gym last night, and it wasn't good.
Okay.
Now, when overtime run, oh, man, well.
So they were there. They just weren't doing that.
That's what I'm saying. They were sitting in their section. They just wasn't doing a whole lot.
I got you.
Yeah.
But anyways, great win for the Lady Cats last night. I had to leave and go to Mason's game. We'll talk about that later.
Well, let me say this. I was watching it, and I thought, well, looks like Lee County's going to get them. And I'd switch back to Summertown because that first half they were having, I was like, well, let's see how bad this has gotten. And Summertown went on a run, so I didn't go back until I had to go back and watch the end of it. I said, crap, this thing went to overtime. Wendy made a post, and she don't do that a lot, but she should have been proud of her team, and she should be proud of herself. That was a big win against a really good district opponent, and it was much needed.
She did mention at halftime of the boys' game. She's like, last time I talked to you, I wasn't in a really good mood.
No,
I was like, Clint cut it off after 2 questions.
I didn't even want to stick my hand out there. I thought she was going to bite it. She was mad. Thought it was just me or something.
Yeah.
She sat down. She was coming up there stomping mad. Cut the microphones off.
And she cut the mics off and cut my camera off, and I was like scrambling trying to get it on before we came back.
He done knocked the cameras down 12 times that night and fell down.
Yeah. Well, Will knocked down one of his cameras last night too.
One down last night too.
Well, look, we've all played, and we'd much rather have our kids play and had played for a coach that handles that way with a loss. Than one that's, well, we just got some things to work on.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
You know, I need to see a little fire.
Yeah. Wendy's full of fire. That's
and listen, that's I think that's what they need.
Yeah, and it worked. But Jeremy Jean certainly had to peel the paint off at Eagleville, but we'll get there in a little bit.
Well, you know, it's like last night when there was like 17 seconds left before halftime. And we couldn't get a shot off. Yeah. They done it in the first quarter, and then we got the ball last possession of the second quarter, and we're passing around. We can't get a shut off. It's pretty much a turnover. The horn blows, and you could hear Wendy from the bench, and them girls are going to the tunnel, and she's fired up. Yeah. I mean, listen, whatever happened in the locker room at halftime, that was a change. And listen, props, hats off. Them girls come out in the second half, and they took care of business.
Moving ahead to the boys, a come from behind win for them as well. Second straight time they've had to do that against Lincoln County. I think this is a team that's kind of figured out its identity. You know, they only shot 11 threes last night, but they had 40 points in the paint. Every single guy was driving, getting some nice buckets there at the end. This is a team that's found its identity. It's improving on that identity. It might be hitting its stride here at the right time as district play starts next week.
That's what I thought. Like I said, I had to leave, but I sat there and was watching Mason and watching. And I went back and watched it last night. I think they have. I think Coach Clift has really got these boys in the right direction right here at the time where he needs it. You know, I know we had the game over in Richland, then we've had this break, and I think the break was good. I know sometimes you kind of get flat and a break, but I think they're in a good place right now. Yeah. My opinion.
No, I do too.
Yeah, just watching it, it looked a little sloppy. I talked to Wes Brewer's dad, Chase, this morning, and he said it seemed like it took us a while to get woke up, but when we did, it was we played like we should have. But he said we couldn't make he said we missed so many layups. I don't know if you guys know.
And then they hit every layup in the fourth quarter and the third quarter.
And that's kind of been the MO all year.
Yeah.
They've not been finishing at the rim.
Yeah.
You know, and
they hit clutch free throws, and it's good to see them. That's what hurt them against Santa.
Yeah, I mean, Aiden, I kind of iced it there at the end. You know.
Yeah.
Going back to that Christmas tournament game I called over Richland. Yeah. Me and Hayden were there. I'm sure y'all have watched it. That game right there was probably one of the best games that I've got to call. Double overtime. The boys played so hard, you know. I think Colton Tucker did foul out there deep in the fourth. But I noticed in that Richland game, I thought to myself, like, okay, these boys turned a corner. They found their identity. I think they kind of found it there.
Yeah.
Because at one point, they was up big. And then Alden Slaughter just said,
You're talking about Santa Fe.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they
played Santa Fe.
Yeah.
At Richland.
Who went to a state championship game a year ago.
And Aiden Slaughter's a bad man.
Yes,
he's a bad dude.
Yes, he
He
is.
didn't have 43.
He had 47.
47, yeah.
And he was 2 points away that night from scoring 3,000 in his career at Santa Fe.
Right.
But seeing how they kind of put it together there, and it wasn't just one. It was a team effort over there, and it was just fortunate the ball fell like it did at the end. But you're right, AJ, and they've hit their stride, and I'm kind of anxious to see tomorrow night.
That game you and I called when they beat Richland here. They had to pull some things together. They had some really good production off the bench and some kids step up, and you kind of saw it. I kind of saw it turning there. I mean, that's a win against a really good team. And Alex Bedford didn't score a point, and they won that game.
No, yeah.
And if you'd have gave me those odds, I said, "Well, we ain't winning that one. Just go ahead and mark me down for however much you want to bet on it."
Yeah, and that's what I've noticed here in the past a little bit. It's not just one. I mean, it's everybody.
Yeah.
You got your guys coming off the bench that are putting in some very key minutes.
Yeah.
I'm kind of anxious to see.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the teams they're going to play tomorrow night, we'll start off with the Loretto girls and guys. They are playing a murderer's row schedule. I mean, they've played this Lauderdale County team out of Alabama. I believe the top team in 2A in Alabama. First game, they played them at the back end after playing the Class 7A state champion from Mississippi, then having to turn around and play that, kind of got away from them. But last night, they were right in that game with a really good Lauderdale County team. They played they've beaten Wayne County. They played that really good Richland girls team that we've seen. They played really good competition in Gatlinburg. I mean, they've played a lot of good teams. They've come out on the right end. And this is a battle-tested team right now.
Well, Coach Rutledge, I mean, you got to give Ashley credit.
Yeah,
she don't care what her record is in December and January.
Yeah.
No.
You got to get battle tested, and it's going to be a tougher region this year for Loretta and Summertown. And it's not just a given anymore that those two are going to sub-state like it has been. And
no.
And look, credit Allie Weathers. She had 28 last night and had a double-double, I think. And, if they can just get a little bit more consistent offense from the other players, the role players, they could make a run. They just, just got to have some kids grow up and step up a little bit. But if they can get more consistent offensive play out of everybody but Allie, better watch out.
Especially if Libby Sanders goes off for 20.
Look,
and Allie Augustine continues to do what she's
they're going
to
to play defense, and they can play several different defenses. But I get it. Defense wins championships, but you can't win a championship 0-0.
No.
You know what I mean? You got to put the ball in the basket.
Right. Is the Chance girl back?
She's been starting the last 3 games, 3 or 4 games.
That was a big.
Yeah.
They
size gives them size now.
Gosh, she's 6 foot tall. Yeah. But yeah, that schedule that they put together right here, and it, some people may look at it as, Lee, why are you doing it right now? But it's getting you ready.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, it's not how you start; it's how you finish.
That's it.
Like they say in the NFL all the time, guys, your goal isn't to go undefeated. Your goal is to win the Super Bowl.
That's
you
right.
got to be ready once you get there. Now on the boys' side, still undefeated, still rolling. They played a Lauderdale County team last night that only have 1 loss on the year, and they made them look like some of these, some of these teams that they've beaten pretty bad. And they've played some pretty good competition. They got tested over in Gatlinburg. You play those Kentucky and Indiana teams.
Yeah.
They might not look like much when they step on the court, but from someone who grew up, in West Virginia on the border near some of these schools. Anytime you see Kentucky beside their name, they got shooters. And they played some of those really well and came away winning a tournament, played good competition at their own tournament, and had a good win last night. And I'm just so impressed with how they move the ball around. They're getting balanced scoring. Guys are understanding their roles, and they're turning into potential pretty good team here.
They're not pretty good. They're a great
really
team.
Good, yeah.
And they're playing very complementary is the way I can way I can describe it, and that's with the 3 or 4 that come off the bench that know their roles. You got Grayson, a new player there that he's not having to. He's not doing it all, or feels like he has to do it all, like he did at Summertown. And him and Case and Bowie, I mean, you put those two down on the block and run a high-low set with him or anything like that. Good luck.
Right.
I mean, and then it's not like they're small out in the front court.
Right.
With Tidwell and Reynolds and Robertson, who's like a rat on acid. I mean, he's just everywhere. He's all over the floor.
He is all over the court.
Yeah.
All over the place.
And so, listen, I didn't even realize they were undefeated till I saw their post that said Mustangs undefeated in 2020 or 2024 or whatever, and I thought, wow, they kind of making some statements. That win against Wayne County, that win. Let's see, they had another one, and clearly, Eagleville was I don't know if that was Eagleville had a great night against Summertown or what, but they beat Eagleville as bad as Eagleville beat Summertown.
Right. Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out come rivalry time and district play time.
Yeah, well, speaking of a rivalry, we got one tomorrow night between Lawrence County and Loretto. Going back to the new barn, we'll start off on the girls' side. It was close back and forth in the first half, but Loretto pulled away in the second half there, and you kind of feel like, okay, Loretto's coming out.
Both in both games.
But yeah, both in both games, and Loretto's kind of coming out of this really tough stretch. It's going to be a tough game tomorrow night. Lawrence County girls, I think, have figured out a lot of things. This could be a potential thriller that we get tomorrow night at Loretto.
I was thinking about it today. I had a minute, was just kind of contemplating on the game. I knew we were going to talk about it tonight. It's in the paint.
Right.
And I know Allie's going to get her points down low. Sophie's going to get her points down low. But Ryan Weathers, I talk about her each week. She's getting better on the block.
Mm-hmm. Ryan Hughes.
Or Hughes, right? I say my bad.
Yeah, I was going to say, now Ryan can't come quit professional baseball and come play.
He was a good basketball player, too.
Yeah, my apologies. But, she's getting better each week down low.
Right.
And the way those girls can transition like they have been, it could be a fun game tomorrow night.
Leah coming alive as a freshman.
Yeah.
Well, I think you've got two different programs and coaches looking for two different things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You got Wendy or Coach Scott and Lady Cats looking to take what happened last night and roll with it and get some momentum going.
Right.
And you've got Coach Rutledge and the Lady Mustangs coming off this grinder of a schedule and beat down and saying, all right, when it comes to March, are you going to be able to do this and not lay off?
Right.
Are you going to keep it going and keep your foot on the gas?
Right.
So, I mean, it's going to be good for both.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like y'all, after Lawrence County coming back, beating a really good Lincoln County team, I think it's in for a war.
Yeah. I think it is.
Loretta's going to be packed.
Yeah. It's going to be a packed house, and it's going to be a physical. That game last night was physical.
Right.
I think, and I like it. That's why I'm saying it could be one down low.
Yeah, and on the boys' side, that was a really good game. Lawrence County led for the bulk of it. Then Loretto poured it on there in the fourth quarter. That was one of the few times I think that Loretto team has been tested all year long, and that was an up and down game in someone else's building. Now they're going back to their building. Lawrence County's starting to figure some things out that, there's a lot of ways this game can go. I think it's going to be close just because it's a rivalry. These teams know each other really well. You got really good athletes on both sides, and both teams kind of sharing the ball around a lot. Could be a potential another good thriller between the two.
I'll let you go because y'all cover them more than I do. I just only called the one game, and the rest I've watched on our coverages. But Loretta's not going to beat you shooting the three ball. I mean, that's just not. I mean, they can.
Yeah.
If you give it to them, they've got some shooters. But if you're Lawrence County and you expect to have a shot, especially at Loretta, you've got to finish in the paint, and you have got to get defensive rebounds. You cannot give up second chance points because that's where Loretta will absolutely kill you.
That's what I was going with. Right. You took it right out of my mouth because when we was at the Ralph, this kid played 3 quarters and it was just he got a couple rebounds here, didn't score a lot, and that fourth quarter Bowie went off in the fourth quarter.
He was in foul trouble.
He was in foul trouble, so he had to sit for a little while in the first half. Listen, that's where it's at for Lawrence County tomorrow night. Stay out of foul trouble, watch your turnovers, rebounds.
Right. Absolutely. Now let's move ahead now to Summertown. We've mentioned the girls with a pretty good win against Eagleville. The boys not as lucky the other night, but we've seen a lot out of this boys team. It could be potentially a really good team, and especially when Kurt's hitting shots and they're moving the ball around, getting everyone involved. That could be a pretty good team. This girls' side, Clint, really good defensively, really good rebounding team. And when they're hitting shots and playing the way that they played in the second half last night, that could be a team that's back in the sub-state once again.
Before we get on that, I want to give my condolences to Coach Wes Long, Brian Long, who's been calling a lot of games for us, Jeremy Jean and his wife Beth, Mrs. Laura Talley, big figure in Summertown basketball. Her and Eddie, you'd see them sitting on the end zone. Their seats every game. Miss Laura passed away. Funeral was today, and that whole Summertown community is hurting because that is a presence. Like my three girls, we're not Summertown people, but when they went, that she was their biggest fan on top of her kids and her grandkids' biggest fans. Right. I mean, it was a presence that's going to be missed at Summertown. So to the Long family, to the Talley family, you have our thoughts and prayers. Right. Boys side, let me tell you something. I think me and probably girls side, I think me and several people probably need to give Coach Jeremy Jean a lot of credit and maybe an apology because I was thinking, I don't know how you're going to replace those 5 seniors, 4 starters that were all ball handlers. And we got 1 loss this year?
1, yeah.
13-1. Yeah, and I thought they were beat last night. Now, I texted Coach Jean because I didn't make Hayden. I appreciate you making that trip and you and Adam calling that game because that was one of those. I didn't want to go to Eagleville if I had a kid still playing. But Coach Jean said it was a tale of 2 halves. He said we were very timid offensively. We were very passive offensively the first half. He didn't say what he said at halftime. He just said he challenged them at halftime, and then they outscored Eagleville 18-1 in the third quarter, and then it's kind of back and forth in the fourth, but pulled out a really good win on the road. And this team, it's night and day from the first game I called to where they are right now and how much growth they've done. And listen, Coach Jean, he's got Coach of the Year honors for me right now, losing 5 kids. Right. 5 seniors and 4 ball handlers and shooters.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah. I don't care what level you're at or anything. That's tough to replace.
And the boys, I
don't know what happened last night, to be honest. I haven't talked to Coach Long, and I'm sure his head was not in it with everything. Wes, I don't even think he wanted to. We gave Miss Talley a shout out the last home game, and she was watching from her hospital bed, and Brian said it just tickled her to death, and he was real tore up then. So I'm sure he probably wasn't in it that much. And look, I've said it before. 16, 17, 18-year-old kids, they're dumb sometimes. And, they may have just not been into it. I don't know. They shot the ball very poorly for what they're going to have to do to beat a good team. Yeah. We shot the ball very poorly. Summertown did. And we can't do that. And, I just think it's just a case of one of those. A good, physical, big Eagleville team. It's kind of handled them.
Yeah. Well, they both got Lewis County coming up tomorrow night.
Second district
games, yeah.
It's still hard for me to count that first one.
Yeah.
The new school.
Battle Creek. Well, it's a 1-year thing.
Right.
And, they move up to 3A the following year. But, they got Lewis County and, could never know. With those teams are always going to play hard, and they've got athletes and they got shooters, and anything can happen.
If we have any Lewis County viewers, it shouldn't be much of a girls' contest. Let me tell you something. They're boys' team.
Yeah, they're boys.
You take them for granted, buddy, and they'll snake up and beat you, especially at home.
They'll put you in the mouth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's Hollenwald's not an easy place to play.
Nope.
That team loves to play in that building. It's a good building for them, a good home court advantage. Never easy to go in that place and win.
Yep.
All right, well, guys, coming up next year, we'll go into the world of college football. Dusty's going to gloat.
Do we have to?
Yes.
Yeah. Dusty's going to gloat, talk about his Notre Dame Fighting Irish. And
we're going to talk about his Bama team, too, if we're going to go deep.
Yeah, we're going to go deep. They suck.
And we'll talk about the Titans. We'll talk about the Titans as well. That's next on X Sports Live.
At Lawrenceburg Federal Bank, we're proud to be locally owned and operated because we're not just a bank. We're family. When you call, You'll be greeted by a friendly representative who's ready to discuss your banking needs, as well as offer our competitive rates on CDs and money market accounts. Our loan decisions are made in-house and never sold to a secondary market because our commitment is simple. You matter to us. At Lawrenceburg Federal, we offer all the conveniences of larger banks with a personal touch. Join us at Lawrenceburg Federal Bank, where community, trust, and service come together.
I'm Jeff Overton, Senior Pastor at Mars Hill Baptist Church, and let me welcome you to 2025. We're off to a brand new year, and it's a time where all of us stop and evaluate where we are in life. My son used to sing when he was a little bitty boy, "We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New You." And I believe all of us want to do that, a Happy New You. And that's what we long for you. We experience in our personal life. I want to lose weight this year. Our church, we're building a brand new facility for our children and student ministries, and we're excited about that. But what I really love is when I look in God's Word, whether it be in Isaiah 43:19, where He tells us He's about to do something new, or whether it be in Revelation 21:5, where He says, "I am doing something new." We have a God who loves to do the new. He wants to do that in your life. And so as you begin this year, let me encourage you, examine your heart, examine your life, and say, what am I doing in 2025? What is my goals for this year? But more importantly, what can God do in me in this brand new year? How can my life be used for the kingdom of God? We'd love to challenge you, encourage you. One of the new things we're doing is this Mars Hill Minute right here on this station. We hope you'll tune in each week as we bring you a short devotion and encourage you to be the new you, the best you can be for Christ in 2025. God bless you. Have a great new year.
At Florida Mid-South Realty, we pride ourselves on our family values, professional service, and a deep local knowledge. With a small town feel and a personal touch, we're here to help you navigate the real estate process with ease. Whether buying, selling, or renting, you can trust us to guide you every step of the way. And don't forget to catch Florida Rockstars, our live podcast every Tuesday morning at 8. Florida Rockstars, rocking the real estate news and all things local. Florida Mid-South Realty, your hometown real estate experts.
They'll go above and beyond to help you, whether in person or over the phone.
I'm glad I got my home loan here. They thoroughly explained the process, and in no time I was accepted.
I have banked with the Bank of Frank Ewing ever since they first came to Lawrenceburg in 2005. I've always been pleased with their service, and I would recommend them to anyone.
Old School Rentals in Loretto, Tennessee is your headquarters for all your rental equipment needs. Are you in need of a trailer? How about a saw, tools, loaders, or even generator? Now meeting all your propane needs as well. You can find everything you need to complete your project and much more down at Old School Rentals in Loretto. Go by and let owner Ryan Smith help you today. That's Old School Rentals on North Main Street in Loretto, Tennessee.
A Moment in Real Estate with my dad, Jeff Hood.
You know, I get asked a lot about what the market's going to do. How's the real estate market? I've been selling real estate for a long time, and nobody has a crystal ball. And you know what? When it's your time to buy or your time to sell, it really doesn't matter what the market's doing. It's your time, and you have to do something maybe. What makes a difference is the agents and the experience that go to work for you. We're Keller Williams Hood Company, located here in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. We can help.
Hood Company, powered by Keller Williams, the #1 name in real estate.
Are you looking for the perfect refrigerator? What about a new stove or washer or dryer? It only makes sense to shop at the one place that specializes in appliances, top to bottom, big or small. And that's Kelly Appliance in Lawrenceburg. Kelly Appliance is home to all major name brands, including LG. LG makes life good with a full selection of refrigerators, cooking appliances, dishwashers, microwaves, and more, including appliances made right here in Tennessee. Family owned and family operated. Stop by Kelly Appliance on Jerry Street in Lawrenceburg today.
Patient care at its finest is found at Tennessee Valley Family Care. From primary to infant care, physicals, women's health, allergies, diabetes management, plus on-site labs and ultrasounds. Let practitioners Liz Phillips, Kathy Cohen, and Stephanie Tucker care for your health and your entire family's health. Let Tennessee Valley Family Care help you reach your health care goals.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
And welcome back here to X Sports Live here in our studio on Weekly Creek Road. Go ahead, Dusty, sing Notre Dame's fight
I have
song
no idea what it is. Go Irish!
Man, I'm not
I picked it a long time ago.
I knew they would beat Indiana, and I had a good suspicion that it would play good against Georgia. I didn't think they would play that good.
Listen, that score didn't do any justice to that game. It didn't.
Can I just say this, though? Yeah. That poor kid for Georgia. He would never be able to buy or get anything for free again in Athens.
Right.
Ever.
The walk-on.
Yeah.
Like, Steve Bartman's going, boy, you screwed that up. I mean, it was bad.
That really hits home. Thank you.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he yeah. They may run him plumb out of Georgia.
Yeah. But, listen, when you said it, I really didn't think they would have a chance against Georgia. But after that SEC championship, I'm not going to say Georgia won the SEC championship as much as I'm going to say Texas lost it.
Right.
That's what I said the whole time.
And if you were ever coming up a time to play Georgia and a hot team like Notre Dame was, that was it. And I'm like you guys. That score wasn't near as close as that beatdown was.
And I think what Notre Dame did was expose every single Georgia weakness. They don't have any explosive players on the outside. And then if they do get an explosive play, someone drops it. They don't have the tight end play that they used to have. They're having They're having a bunch of guys enter the portal as well. The offensive line isn't good what it used to be. And here's a big thing no one's talking about: their offensive coordinator that led them to 2 national championships. He's coaching the NFL MVP right now.
Yeah.
And I think that guy was the biggest key to all of that.
I think you're right.
And Kirby's getting exposed once. Kirby got out-coached by Marcus Freeman.
He got out-coached by him. I don't care what anybody says.
It was a very rough night for Kirby Smart. Even though I don't like him, it was a very rough night. Dad passing away there. During the game and stuff. Yeah. And man, that's tough. But listen, you just called it. Yeah. The days of juggernaut SEC teams having backup 4 or 5 stars that can come in.
It's over.
And you don't have it anymore. Welcome to the new era.
And if Arizona State wouldn't have gotten off to a slow start
and a bad call,
terrible, they would be playing Penn State right now, and Penn State would be shaking in their shoes.
Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think whoever won that game is going to matter, because I don't know that Ohio State couldn't beat the 2 or 3 best teams in the NFL right now.
Listen.
I mean, as a Tennessee fan, let me just say, I thought we were catching them at a perfect time coming off that loss to Michigan and all that stuff, and I was wrong. They were pissed off.
Yeah.
Listen, and this what's crazy for me is all they've done is run the football.
Yeah.
That's
get
all.
their tight ends. That's it.
Yeah. And that's all y'all were
Take
going
the
out.
easy passes.
Y'all went off the film, off the Michigan game. And you're thinking, oh, well, man, we'll stack the box. We're going to make this guy throw it, and we're going to win this football game.
Yeah.
Smith, see, the best receiver that Ohio State's ever had. Maybe one of the best receivers we've ever seen.
He's the best in college football.
He's best in college. I mean, you got Marvin Harrison, Chris Carter. You can go down the list.
I
of
know,
great
but
Ohio
like,
State
like
wideouts.
this dude is destined to be.
He's up there.
Wow.
He's gonna be up there. And
But I don't think the quarterback. I don't think Howard's getting the credit for some of these throws he's making.
Well, listen, the reason the run was there, I didn't watch all of the Rose Bowl, but against Tennessee, the first 2 possessions they had when they scored on Tennessee was all Howard. It was throws.
Yeah. Listen,
and then that opened up the running game.
Yeah.
Tennessee couldn't stop anything.
Yeah, and then it was over.
You know, they gave us a little glimmer of hope there. They got a 3 and out, scored, made it 21-10. I said, all right, we're coming back, and nope. Nope.
They said, no, we're going to score real quick.
They were like, you probably should have just went to bed.
And the crazy thing about it that it's like everything Ohio State should have done against Michigan, they've done the last 2 games. And
It's
it looked
almost like
so
when they
stinking
tense up
dominant.
and they're coaching not to lose against Michigan.
Right. Well, it's because he's always well, I mean, Michigan did finish red hot. Sorry, Dusty, but they did finish.
Yeah, they did.
And they dominated December and January. They
Hey,
finished
let's
red,
not apologize to
red
me.
hot.
We suck. Jalen Milroe couldn't throw in the ocean if he's standing on the
It's
beach.
gonna be a first-round pick.
That dude's a moron if he thinks he's going to be a first. He may not get drafted.
That did shock me how bad he played.
Yeah.
But look, if it's not a playoff game, you can't take any stock into any of these bowl games.
You're right. They don't want to be
They
there.
don't mean anything. Right. Nobody wants to be there. Most of the better players don't play.
But
look at Cam Ward taking himself out.
I will say though,
Yeah.
we've had
And
some
lose.
really good bowl games. We've had some excellent.
But
bowl
the thing
games.
about Milroe
That's all
is
I watched in the hospital.
I feel like he had to play good to try to get his draft stock up, and he played like garbage. And then the next day, I'm going to the draft. Come on, buddy. What are you going?
Hope you're going as a running back.
Yeah, I hope you're not going as a quarterback.
Tackling dummy.
Golly, have y'all ever? And I don't even want to hear about the weather. About it was raining there.
Yeah, we had Joe Milton in case. Yeah, we've seen it.
Golly, man. I mean, the only thing I was waiting on was DeBoer to get fired on a plane ride home.
Yeah.
If it happens again next year, that might be happening.
Exactly. Listen, that was just. I'm just going to call it. That was just piss poor performance by Jalen Milroe. I mean, be there if you want to be there or not. You got to play better than that.
Right.
I mean, that's just. He's not played that
But
bad.
listen, where I'll give him credit now, who knows what the ulterior motives are now for these kids in bowl games? The ones that play, the ones that don't. But I couldn't draft Cam Ward after him taking himself out of the game, not get hurt, and letting his team lose.
Yes, couldn't do it.
And even if it's a meaningless ball game, I need to see a little bit more of a warrior in you.
If he stays in, I know they were going shot for shot with Iowa State, but Iowa State went cold in the second half of that game and had to win it late. You know, that wasn't that wouldn't have been a close game if he.
To me, I don't know if you want to use the word quitter, but he quit on his team.
Right. Yeah, well, I mean, he had selfish reasons to not. He wanted to take care of himself.
Well, if that's the case, then don't even play at all.
That's my thing. Right. Let who's taking your place get to start.
Yeah, let them have it.
Let him get some experience.
Of course, there is not. Today's college football, your backup. That don't mean that's going to be your start quarterback.
No, he's like leaving. He's like he can be gone tomorrow.
You may be getting a kid from Tennessee.
Yeah,
he'll be down there next year.
Right.
Mr. Bailey. Yeah.
So, well. I will say this, though. I thought Arizona State impressed me, and I thought Boise State almost outgained Penn State by 200 yards. Their problem was they got in the red zone and just, peeked down their leg is what they did. But
they realized it's a lot harder to tough when it's bunched up against Big Ten teams than it is.
He did get 100 yards rushing eventually, which is pretty impressive. But if Arizona State doesn't get off to a slow start and if Boise State scores in the red zone, those two could have advanced to the next round.
And listen, I don't want to take away from anything what that boy done all season.
Man,
that was legit. But you can also see what it's like.
Yeah,
like you said, when you have to do that Saturday after Saturday after Saturday. It's a little different.
Yeah, it is different.
It's different football.
Kind of quickly before we get into who we pick, in the semifinals, is this kind of a we kind of hinted at it a little bit. Is this a referendum on the SEC? Like, The four teams left. One is an SEC team, but realistically, they're just a leftover Big 12 team at this point.
I think it was a show that me and you did that Dusty couldn't be here. Maybe it was just me and you.
Yeah.
And I fully back what I said, even more now. Listen, the SEC ain't the top no more, boys. I mean, we're just not.
We're not.
Shane Beamer losing his mind, saying he should be a playoff team. They get beat by Illinois, a Big Ten team.
And that was embarrassing.
Yeah.
I mean,
the way he acted.
And Brett Bielema was just. And Bielema, I know he did it on purpose just to get him psyched out.
He did.
Let me tell you,
because South Carolina had the better team, but Illinois had the better mindset.
Had better coach to win a ball game. And let me tell you something. The only one that I thought coached his tail off was Lane Kiffin, because he tweeted so much. He had to represent. If he would have lost, he would have gotten murdered on Twitter.
He'd have had to shut it down.
Yeah. After Tennessee got beat out, my immediate post was, crap, does this mean Kiffin's going to tweet about us too?
No, he went radio silent after the Tennessee game.
But I think Big Ten's where it's at. Listen, where it's at is who's spending the most money.
Right.
And right now, look at what Ohio State did. Yeah. Look at what Phil Knight's got Oregon covered.
Yeah, Penn State's got a lot of boosters.
Michigan is they're trying to get ready to reload.
They spending the money.
Yeah, and they got the top recruit in the country on his way.
Yep.
Stole him from LSU. So it's you're going to have to catch up. Normally, it was the SEC was ahead of the game. Now everyone else is ahead of the game, and they're going to have to keep up with the Joneses here.
I think it was our last show when we were talking about who got in, who didn't, and I'm going to call out SEC. I'm going to call out Josh Heupel. You've got to at some point. You've got to win that big road game. Mm-hmm. Alabama fans want to gripe that they didn't get in. You know what? Don't lose at Oklahoma or at Vanderbilt.
Right.
Win the games you're supposed to. Look. You can't make the case that we're the strongest conference and they don't play our schedule. Yeah, they don't play our schedule. Right. But you know what? You're still supposed to beat the weaker SEC teams. Yeah. And you didn't.
And you look at what happened in some. I mean, Oklahoma lost to Navy. South Carolina got outclassed by Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
Did I miss? I know there's some other SEC loss. Or didn't Arkansas lose their bowl game?
Thank God.
They won.
They won. Thank God for Vanderbilt beating Georgia Tech.
Yeah,
convincingly.
Yeah.
But I think what the SEC was like 5-8 in their 13 bowl games or something.
Well,
like
Tennessee
that.
didn't play in a bowl game.
Yeah, that's true. Well, in their postseason games.
Right.
But let's see. Well, going to the semifinals to start off with Thursday, we got Penn State and Texas. No, it's not Texas.
No, it's Ohio State.
No.
Texas and Ohio State.
Notre Dame, Penn State Thursday. Okay, so Notre Dame and Penn State on Thursday. I mean, two really good defenses, and it's one of those. I think
y'all better get on that golden green train.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I think Penn State is more talented. I think they're deeper. I think they've got a better team.
But when is James Franklin going to turn into James Franklin?
That not so fast, my friend. Marcus Freeman's a better coach than James Franklin.
Absolutely.
At getting his team ready to play, at calling listen, he calls a better in-game game and makes better adjustments than James Franklin does. And Penn State's got a couple of they've got 2 wins in this playoff, but they're not as hot as Notre Dame is right now.
No, I don't think so either.
I'm taking Notre Dame. That's my pick.
Yeah. I'm with you. I know you're on Notre Dame, and I think we're pretty much consensus-wise on Friday night that's going to be an Ohio State route.
Listen. If Texas remotely keeps it close, I'll be surprised.
The only chance Texas has is if they tell who's their quarterback?
Ewers.
Quinn Ewers.
Oh, Quinn Ewers.
Yeah. Listen, it's arches from here on out.
If there's one thing I'm going to bet in that game is over/under interceptions thrown by Quinn Ewers. It should be a 2.5.
Because Arch can run. Because Arch can run the football. And listen, what did I say? Tennessee had to do.
Run the football.
Nico finally had to because we were getting murdered. But it was too late then.
It was too late.
Here's
what I don't understand.
That's the only chance they have. If not, listen, Texas has got their fingers stuck in a hole in the dam.
Yeah.
From after that SEC championship game that they should have lost, they should have got beat by Arizona State. I mean, they're just praying that thing damn don't burst, and it's fixing to.
Yeah, it looks like Chevy Chase when he stuck bubble gum in it.
Yeah.
And it's blowing back out. Yeah. But what I don't understand about that game against Arizona State is, they had it down in the red zone, and they didn't bring in Arch.
Right. What they've
done
all season.
They've done it all season.
Yeah.
So, sometimes listen, that's why they're doing that, and we're sitting right here talking about it. But I don't understand that.
I've always said this about coaching, especially at that level. It's not as easy as we think it is, but it's not as hard as they make it out.
Well, you just see so much over coaching.
Yes.
That I just don't understand.
Right. Yes.
But I don't listen. I think that's their only chance. They have because their offense is just stagnant.
Right.
I mean,
buddy, listen. If Ohio State gets pressure with 3 like they did against Jaw,
yeah.
And we got a damn good offensive line. Is what's bad. I mean, that was our strength.
And they made y'all look bad with 3 guys.
And they've traditionally had really good defensive lines.
And that Sawyer kid,
yeah,
he will eat Ewers' lunch.
Yeah. And you may get to see Arch just because Ewers may get murdered.
Yeah, may get his head knocked off.
Game, But I think it's mine and Dusty's. Ohio State, Notre Dame is going to be our national championship game.
That's going to be a lot of fun between those two. Now, going to the pro game, Tennessee Titans have the first overall pick. You got to thank Tennessee's own Joe Milton for ruining the Patriots' chances.
Way to go, Joe.
He looked great in that game, though.
Yep.
He looked really good. You can thank the Giants, the Browns, all of that.
I was telling Hayden, though, one little boost of confidence I finally got out of Callahan was he made it public that he told Levis that we will be acquiring a quarterback, whether it's through free agency or the draft. So he put Levis on notice. Look, we've said it.
Yeah.
He ain't the guy.
No.
You can't have the turnovers he has. You can lose football games, but you can't. Look, you do it the way he's doing it. He's not the guy.
No.
But I think what we would all agree on, it's what I want. I don't want a number 1 pick because there's not a quarterback that I would want out of this draft.
No.
I want them to trade that number 1 pick for whoever wants Travis Hunter the most, or Shador, or whoever, and get me multiple draft picks and get me some free agents and let's go to work.
Here's the free agent that's going to be available in 2025. Sam Darnold.
Minnesota's not letting him go.
Yeah. Zach Wilson.
Okay.
Marcus Mariota.
He's coming back.
Jared Stidham.
Nope.
Drew Lock.
Nope.
Andy Dalton.
Nope.
Justin Fields.
No.
Nope.
Joe Flacco.
Nope.
Jimmy G.
No.
Mason. No, you already have Mason Rudolph. Josh Dobbs. Running back with the Dobbs.
That's the best name you've said so far, but I don't know that he can.
He's already been in Tennessee before.
Russell Wilson.
Nah, I don't need Wilson. Josh Dobbs is the best in my opinion you could get unless you want to make Andy Dalton a lot of money. I'm not Andy Dalton. Sam Darnold. A lot of money.
So outside of that, you're looking at the quarterbacks at the draft: Cam Ward, Shador Sanders. Am I missing one?
Hey, yeah, you are, man. That guy from Alabama, Jalen Milroe, baby.
Well, it would just be fitting if we got him.
I know
that would fit right.
What's the drunk fans in Major League? Just tear it down. It's another parking lot.
Hey, you want to do?
Or the little Chinese guys beating on the mouse.
No way, it's too high. Too high. Who cares? It's gone.
Too high.
How can it be too high?
It can be too high. I mean, the trajectory of the ball is too high. But so they fired their GM. They're keeping Callahan.
That's dumb.
Everybody, they spent so much money in the offseason, and now they're the worst team in the league because everyone else screwed it up pretty much. And now they get the first overall pick. They got a gift. Do they use it? Do they trade it back to get more picks?
I'm with Clint. I think you trade it.
I think you beef up.
Get all you can get for it.
I'm making phone calls to whichever team I think is going after Travis Hunter.
And I'm calling a team that may, like I said, you're not winning in NFL unless you got an elite quarterback.
The first call I'm making is to Dion and saying, who you think wants your son the most? Who you think wants Hunter the most? Because that's who we're fixing to go wave this golden ticket in front of.
Yep, we're fixing to. And I hope they got a good quarterback. And we're going to trade for that quarterback in these picks.
Yeah.
Because listen, Without an elite quarterback, you're not winning. I don't care.
It's a quarterback. It's always been
a quarterback league. It's always going to be that way. Yeah. And it shows, man. It shows every Sunday.
Absolutely. Coming up next, guys, we're going to go talk about Monday Night Raw.
Wrestling,
its debut
baby.
on Netflix.
Wrestling.
And plus, we're going to give you our hottest takes about wrestling history, period. We all got some good ones. Dusty's got about 50. That's coming up next here on X Sports Live.
There's a reason owners Tyler and Cindy McDowell chose the name In Service for their towing business. They did because it's their goal to be in service for you on the day that you need them the most. In-Service Towing is now known far and wide for their response time because minutes matter when you're broken down. Or their 24/7 availability, you can call them anytime for service. Their professional team with years of experience and their fairness, plus their know-how in dealing with the unexpected. But the thing that In-Service is known best for is how they treat their customers, and that's like family. When you need them, call them 931-843-9098.
From our humble beginnings to today, Parks Lumber Company has continuously served Lawrence and surrounding counties for over a century. Although we started as a small lumber yard in 1896, we have grown to include everything you need to make your dream project come to life. No matter your building needs, our experienced staff will be with you every step of the way to ensure you receive the highest customer service and attention to detail you deserve. Visit us at 106 2nd Street or on Facebook. We guarantee you will see working with PLC is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Shop McMaster's Home Gallery for furniture, appliances, and more. And shop quality, shop convenience, shop service, shop local. A family-owned business with a long history of serving the region. We're a one-stop home furnishings destination. We feature brands you know, competitively priced, backed by professional installation and service. You can trust that we'll take good care of you before and after the sale. For your home, shop smart. Shop McMaster's Home Gallery today.
Being raised in Tennessee, we believe in the importance of family and community. Creating a positive experience at our family-owned and operated business is one of the ways we share that belief.
Being in an accident can be extremely stressful. When it came time for my repairs, Mashburn's made it easy.
I am lucky to have a wonderful company in my community like Mashburn's Collision Center. It's reassuring to know that I'm in good hands because their work is second to none.
We pride ourselves that the Mashburn name is one of the most trusted in Lawrence County since 1981. Mashburn's Collision Center. Let our family take care of yours.
Hey Lawrenceburg, looking for something new? Come to Happy G's, located at 210 East Gain Street. We have pitching machines, batting cages, and even indoor golf. Powered by TrackMan, our system is perfect for practice or play. With over 300 courses as well as multiple mini games, it is perfect for all ages and abilities. We even offer packages for group events such as birthday parties and business lunches. So let's go! Come get your game on indoors at Happy G's.
For high school athletes, every game counts. You push your limits and you chase your dreams. But when injury strikes, you need more than just recovery. At Southern Tennessee Orthopedics, we're here to get you back in the game faster and stronger. From cutting-edge treatments to personalized and compassionate care, we're here for your every move. Our specialized team of experts encompass decades of experience in sports-related injuries. Dr. Paul Thomas, Melanie Durham, and Julie Marcus offer the most comprehensive care from diagnosis to recovery. With advanced treatments and tailored rehabilitation plans, we'll help you heal stronger and faster. Trust Southern Tennessee Orthopedics to keep you at your best because your future is worth it.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
Yeah, Matt Dillon. Welcome back here to X Sports Live. We're sharing some of our favorite movie quotes. We obviously can't share those on live on the air, but we're talking wrestling, guys. New era in the WWE. Netflix had a big 3-hour, basically free pay-per-view. What you guys, Hayden, we'll start with you. Your overall thoughts on the show on Monday night.
I thought it was really good. I liked I was really impressed with the camera angles they had. I love how they had that drone shot. Yeah. There were some questionable things. Travis Scott coming out of the crowd with smoking a joint in his hand. The matches were really good.
Anymore, Hayden.
Do what?
It's not PG.
Oh yeah, I know. No, yeah, they were.
Don't make me boo you like Hulk Hogan.
Yeah,
easy.
Dusty's really sensitive.
But anyway, I really like the matches. I really like how just the chemistry with everybody. The one match, it's not a bad match. Just the finish of it, the Drew McIntyre and Punk. With Drew kind of being I call him the bounty hunter, or Jey Uso,
Not to interrupt you, but my take on that was it almost seemed like they started to run over and they said, "Let's go."
Yeah.
Yep.
Like it kind of got cut off.
Yeah, it was almost stop, let's go.
Yeah. Because I don't know what the next. I think it was the Hulk segment after that match. So I don't know if they had to put that in.
They got their time back on that.
Yeah, they got their time. They got their time back. But anyways, I really enjoyed the show, and we were talking about it. People are thinking, "Oh man, it's a great pay-per-view." There's a lot to expect with the whole Netflix thing. They're going to have great matches coming up next week, and it's just it's not going to fall off. But it's not going to be like it's glorified.
They need to start getting back to.
If you're tuning in next week thinking you're going to see The Rock and Hogan and
you're not getting that.
Yeah.
No.
Or Undertaker, you're probably not.
You might get Cena, but you won't.
They need to get back to telling the stories. I know a lot of people complained about that, but I'm like, they built it up to be a free pay-per-view. Yeah. So I don't know what you were expecting out of that.
Oh, I think they've done a great job. I think you got everything you asked for.
Only thing I like the matches, and I did feel like that was the worst match. Jimmy and or Jay and McIntyre.
Drew.
But I couldn't. I told you guys before we started the show, I didn't feel like it was. And you said it might have been supposed to be somebody else, but I didn't like if you're going to have the Undertaker there, make him a part of Rhea's finish.
Yeah.
Or have him more involved than just riding his back around the ring and shaking hands with her. I thought, man, that's a Mount Rushmore guy you've got there.
Yeah.
He didn't say a word.
Yeah, he didn't do anything.
Which Undertaker doesn't talk a lot, but he could have done something. I would like to see him choke slam Dom.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
That would have been great.
But can we just say this? Dominic Mysterio is probably the best villain WWE's had in a while.
He's getting a push this year. Yeah, that's
he is an old school heel.
Yes, he is.
He's got
very much so.
Got that. Got what do they call it? Electric heat, or toxic heat, or whatever it is they call it. But I like you guys. I like the matches. I thought they were good. All right, Dusty, let's get. I know, pretty sad about the Hulkster.
Listen, man, that's like Michael Cole said it. Without Hulk Hogan, you don't have WWE. Right. I don't care what you say.
No.
Yeah. Well, even where it's at right now today, without Hulk Hogan, you don't have it.
Right. Or WCW probably would have went belly up at about 93.
Yeah, they would have. Yeah. And listen, I know they were out there on the coast and all
they were in liberal country.
But
Hulk's a Trump man.
My God, man, like that dude is wrestling.
Yeah.
I mean, those people that were there, they know. I mean, they're not there just because, I'm sure people's out there, it's L.A. and we're at the Clippers Arena and he spent billions of dollars and they got the nicest arena in the world. And now I feel bad. So when the WWE comes to like the Bridgestone, they don't have that same atmosphere. But, man, Hulk Hogan, I don't care if you like Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Abraham Lincoln, it don't matter. Man, that's Hulk Hogan.
There's got to be a little bit more respect in there, but it also does show the fans decide what they approve of and don't. It's still in wrestling.
That's a fact. That is a fact.
Now, we'd said, I think the next time you put Hulk out there to promote his new beer, you do it across the Mason-Dixon line.
Make sure it's in SEC.
SEC territory.
Do it in Atlanta. Do it in Nashville.
Let's do it in Nashville, Atlanta,
Birmingham area.
Austin or Dallas or something like that, maybe. But
two more things from me on tonight. When The Rock come out, I was telling my buddy this morning, and I think y'all agree. Man, he's the biggest movie star. Played football at Miami. He's done all this stuff, even in wrestling. But to see him come out and have legit goosebumps when his music hits.
Yeah.
Guys, that's why they can't get away from it.
Right.
Well, he know that. Listen, Rock's loyal. He doesn't have to do that.
Right.
No.
Him and Cena do not have to do that. Right. They could have any movie deal they wanted. They're turning everything down, but they're paying it back, and that's why you have to love Rock and Cena.
Yeah. And the fact that Cena was great on the mic the other night. He made it like, I'm not going to go for a title, but he's
definitely going to take. He's passing Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Triple H is going to make sure.
If he don't, I'm going to be really disappointed.
Yep. I think Triple H is going to. John Cena's going to be the GOAT.
Which
he paid it forward.
There's been some leaks of the Royal Rumble roster. Man, that's going to be star-studded.
Yeah.
So if he wins that, because you're going to have Roman in it, you're going to have Sammy, you're going to have Jey Uso, Owens, LA Knight. You're going to have all the big names.
It's going to be the
Jacob Fatu in the Rumble.
It should be the best.
That's going to be fun.
And I think you're going to have a surprise.
Yep.
There's got to be.
You think the big guy?
Hey, it's Brock Lesnar.
I don't know. We keep saying.
I'm telling y'all, he's
coming.
He's coming.
Well, here's my thing. We keep talking about what we see in the future on Cena in this run. I think if he's got his pick, it's either Lesnar or Punk that he's.
I think it's either Punk or Cody.
Yeah.
See, I don't know.
What about Randy?
Nah,
he and Randy, you don't think so?
Not big enough anymore.
No.
Yeah. And plus,
Randy's just putting people on.
Yeah, they've had that storyline before.
They've had a storyline.
Yeah. They were doing that for like years.
Royal Rumble coming up. He'll be here before you know it.
February 1st.
That'll be next time we get to eat some good food.
Yeah.
Oh, we can't watch football because it's snowing.
I don't care about watching a freaking.
We gotta watch the Five
Notre
Irons,
Dame.
man.
All right.
We're gonna wear jerseys.
I ain't.
I
wear my Four Horsemen NWA jersey.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
So let's. Our topic for tonight is our hottest all-time wrestling takes. Now it could be current. It could be what's happened in the past. Hayden,
I've got a current one, and I've got two in the past. They're WWE. Because I've only watched WWE and I was too young for WCW and all that. Anyways, my first one is I'll start with the current. I don't think we're ever going to get the Rock and Roman match. I don't think we're going to get it.
I don't think we are either.
Yeah, I think last year was the last year to get it. Because I don't, from what it sounds, actually, I think it's official now that he said he won't be at WrestleMania 41. So unless something happens, I don't know.
I think The Rock's done in the ring forever. I don't think we'll ever see him back in a match.
I think his last
for him to make that
Roman.
promo and put Cody on a throne like that after saying, "Hey, I'm coming back for you," that kind of threw me off a little bit. So,
but what if that's part of the story?
That might be a part. Well, he said on because he was at NXT last night, and he's like basically cleared the thing is, "Hey, I'm here for now, but whenever I come back, I'm going to come back like the final boss." Mm-hmm. So I'm excited for that. Here's the other one: WWE messed up with not turning John Cena heel whenever it was Cena and The Rock the first time at WrestleMania 28. Mm-hmm. Cena that was the perfect time to turn him heel. I've listened to a bunch of interviews that they've done with him. They said they had a whole attire for him, a new theme song, and everything. Third one, I told you about this: the Team WWE versus Team Nexus in 2010 at SummerSlam. Man, that right there is how you bury young talent. Because they buried those young guys for the Team Nexus. They should have won that match because literally they were talking. It was a done deal that the Nexus was going to win that match, and then McMahon changed it. Literally 15 minutes.
Cena had a lot to do.
Yeah, he had a lot to do with it, and Cena literally after the match is over, he went back to the Gorilla and he said, "Well, we screwed that up big time." Yeah. So those are my three. They're all WWE, but then again, I think those are, in my opinion, the current one for sure after on Monday night and then Tuesday. I don't know if we're going to get that Rock and Roll match. And, that's just going to be one of those where it's going to be a dream match that never happened. So,
all right. Clint?
Go ahead since you got quite a few.
I
got a couple.
I got a couple. It ain't a lot. I was just bull. But for me, old school WWF, we never got Ricky Steamboat, Randy Savage 2.
Yeah, that could have been for the title too.
That WrestleMania 3 Intercontinental title.
Yeah, it's in top 5
of matches
of everybody's all-time greatest matches.
But we never got a second one. Going a little different here. One of my favorite tag teams of all time. Big dudes, just rough monsters. Never won a title. Powers of Pain, the Warlord and the Barbarian.
Yeah, probably that, as far as just specimens that
just huge.
WWE's ever had.
Just probably above their time.
Probably had steroids in their cereal, but they they were legit
monsters. Yeah. NWA for me, and we could talk about NWA for hours. Nikita Koloff was never a heavyweight champion.
Oh, he would have been, especially at that
U.S.
point
title,
in time.
Won it a couple of times.
At that point in time, him as a heavyweight champion, with everything that was going on in the world, because wrestling's supposed to reflect what's happening in the world. Oh,
that would have been so big.
So big.
So big. And the last one for me, I think WWE missed a tag team. These guys won the tag team titles 3 times in OVW. They were called the Minnesota Wrecking Crew, and it was Lesnar and Shelton.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And they never tag teamed once they made the main roster.
Yeah. Could have kept tag team wrestling afloat.
And when you think about it, the Minnesota Wrecking Crew, we had back in the day, we had like Mike Rotundo when he was with Barry Windham, or with Danny Spivey. They were their college guys. The Steiner brothers always wearing their Michigan Letterman jackets.
Yeah.
They could have done that with Lesnar and Shelton.
Yeah.
I think. And we could talk a bunch more, but those are 4 that I thought, you know what, that's pretty good stuff.
All right, Clint.
I would have liked to have seen. There's so many what ifs, but the invasion angle should have been so much better than what it was.
That's a great
point. They basically did nothing with it.
You had a golden, and all you did was use lower talent WCW guys, and you had to bring ECW into the equation because you couldn't get any of the big names. And that's when I thought wrestling started going downhill because McMahon had no competition.
Right.
And he got lazy in his writing, and that's led to Austin taking his ball and going home because creative was so bad that he just wasn't going to do it.
Right.
But, you had that. And then they missed the ball on, what maybe a year, maybe less than a year. You bring in Hogan, Nash, and Hall for the NWO. And they screwed that up too.
Right.
And to me, you could have, let's just imagine what if you did that either, if you combine the NWO and you get it right. That you can't have a WCW versus NWO invasion without Ric Flair as your Vince McMahon type for WCW. You can't have it without Goldberg and Sting, the spearheads, the biggest baby face.
Right.
And if you want to throw the you had so much of an opportunity to build a year to year and a half long storyline with that.
Yes.
Right.
And they just crapped the bed with it. Didn't want to pay, Vince being cheap. My other one is not so much what the product would look like in the ring and on pay-per-views but what would have happened if Jesse the Body Ventura was able to get wrestlers unionized? Look how many we've lost.
I love that interview that he did.
But look how many had no health insurance, couldn't pay for things. It led to addiction that aren't with us anymore and things like that. Die young, suicides.
Yeah.
What could have been if that hadn't got railroaded, whether it's by Hogan, who he claims, or McMahon. It was McMahon getting out cheap is basically what it
that's all it was.
But that's that's a topic I would love to have seen. What if? Because I feel like if you really think about it, old school wrestlers, you had to love what you do and you had to be good at it and you had to be damn tough.
Right.
Because there's no insurance, there's no, you're hurt, you're out. If you're hurt, you don't make money.
Right.
No, you sit in the locker room.
Yeah. And so many of those guys look at all the dark side of the rings. That's not even a percentage of.
No,
this is a very small percentage of a lot of these guys that have had a rough life. So and to the day I die, what if WCW had got Starrcade '97 freaking right? I will go to my grave pissed off at Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan for that.
Oh, absolutely. that may be the worst.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if
Worst finish in pay-per-view history.
Oh,
outside of that Hell in a Cell, where it's supposed to be no DQ, but they had a DQ between Bray and Seth Rollins.
I don't get that.
Yeah.
And red lighting, it was so stupid.
Yeah.
So stupid. Well, my first one is.
Hey, did you see what Cornette tweeted out or posted or whatever when it showed a clip of Hulk Hogan getting booed, and Cornette said, "That doesn't work for me, brother."
Oh, he's a timeless treasure. One of my favorites. Love Jim Cornette. My first one is, I think, the TLC matches between the Dudleys, the Hardys, and Edge and Christian, some of my favorite matches of all time. I think that ruined tag team wrestling. And hear me out, because now everybody has to do high spots. Everyone thinks they have to go through a table, and everyone completely misses the fact of a ladder match or when they hang the belt above. Your purpose isn't to fly off a table and go in the opposite direction of the belt. Your purpose is to go up and get the belt,
right.
And everyone kind of forgets that. So I think it kind of ruined tag team wrestling a bit, because it's all about the high spots, who can do the biggest gymnastic thing instead of...
Yeah, we're not going to get oohs and ahs if we just... if we do a rear naked choke.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, or, the Doomsday device from the Legion of Doom, or what the Frankensteiner, those were brutal, but, they look painful. Mm-hmm. Some of the stuff, even though it looks painful, isn't, really all that painful. My third one is, I think the WWF or WWE messed up by not giving these two guys a belt at least one point in their life, like the big belt. Jake the Snake and Razor Ramon. Yep. And I look at it from a very long-term perspective, because they were wrestling mid-card matches. Even though we love these guys, they were wrestling mid-card matches for mid-card belts. And if they would have been at the top, they wouldn't have to wrestle as much. They would have been with guys that would have protected them better because of the money.
Yep.
Like, remember the Honky Tonk Man? He hit the reason Jake the Snake had all these drug issues, because he broke his back with a real guitar. Mm-hmm. Like, that wasn't a gimmick guitar. That was a real guitar. If Jake the Snake was in a higher level in the company going for the world title, Hulk Hogan would never hit him with anything real like that.
No.
Because we've seen his chair shots. They're awful.
The worst chair shots in wrestling
so
history.
he would have...
I don't know. Nia Jax is pretty bad.
Yeah, he would have been protected that way. And you think about both of these guys. Really good on the mic. They would have done the Lenos and the Lettermans. They would have been really good.
Imagine Jake
person.
the Snake as a champion heel.
Oh. And talking the way that he brings out the
especially
snake
when he was
on,
in
like,
his Cobra
daytime,
stage.
Yeah, when he breaks out a snake like on a daytime talk show, and Regis and Kathy Lee, and they lose their minds. Like, he would have been perfect for that role. My second one, and I thought deeply about this. I think it was 95-96. Shawn Michaels was begging Vince to let him go to WCW. Now, hear me out. That would have been around NWO time.
And when Nash and
Hall left. When Nash and Hall left, and they were already established there. So Shawn leaves. I think it would have saved WCW, because we know Shawn was defiant. Mm-hmm. We know Shawn was really good on the mic, and Shawn could change. He could be a heel, he could be a baby face, and he would have been a guy that looked at Eric Bischoff and said, "No, I'm not doing that." Mm-hmm. Or, "No, we need to do this." Remember, most of that DX stuff, they were defying the network, they were defying Vince, and Shawn would have probably done that to Bischoff, would have definitely done that to Hogan, and done it to the rest of that bunch, and I think that would have worked. And my number one all-time, and it's mainly because he's my favorite wrestler, I think the Attitude Era would have still happened and probably have been even more popular if Vince didn't screw Bret.
If Bret
would have stayed.
Brett would have stayed. Yep.
But he was already going, though.
Yeah, I know, but they offered him the money. It was because they offered him this huge contract.
But if he doesn't screw him, he could leave WCW and come back too.
Exactly. Or he could have redone his contract the way that they wanted. He could have stayed. Vince was already heading towards Mr. McMahon territory, and they probably, because he was already messing with Bret, he was already messing with Austin, he was already messing with a bunch of guys, so he was already heading in that way. So if Bret stays, now you keep the Hart Foundation together. Now DX can go up against the Hart Foundation more often. You got Stone Cold fighting the Hart Foundation, all these other entities that would have come in. Owen Hart wouldn't have turned into the Blue Blazer and, fallen to his death at that pay-per-view in Kansas City. There's, British Bulldog wouldn't have probably gone to WCW, done all the dumb stuff that he did.
Got hooked on
Yeah,
drugs.
exactly. So I'm thinking long term with all of these. I think the Attitude Era would have been even better, and because we all know Brett hated it at WCW the moment he got there.
Well, can you imagine a sequel to WrestleMania 13 with him in Austin in 14 or 15?
Yeah. With Vince.
When Austin gets hot, as he was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because him and Brett had some incredible matches. I think Brett could have been a big part of, and I'm being selfish because he's my all-time favorite wrestler, but I think Brett would have had a huge impact on the Attitude Era if him and Vince could have came together and he could have stayed in the WWF.
It made me also think of one that I forgot to say. Yeah. But what if the Blade Runners' paths were different? What if Sting went to WWF and Warrior went to WCW?
WCW would have tanked earlier than what it did.
It did, but could you imagine it? Let's say Sting's gimmick. Let's say that gimmick, and it's time for Hogan to pass the belt. You don't think Sting could run with that?
Oh, he'd have run
a whole lot better than the Warrior could have.
Mm-hmm. I think if that would have happened, things that we've seen would have never took place.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that changes history.
Yeah.
Right. Well, to your point, that match would have been just as big, probably better, and now you've got a guy that you can keep the belt on for a long time because
you can trust.
That you can trust, and he wouldn't have the most convoluted, weirdest.
Sting's not going to be standing in the middle of the ring having Hogan hold him up because he can't go anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's go home, brothers.
We got
4 minutes in.
Yeah.
We got to finish this match.
He was doing 45 minutes with Ric Flair consistently.
Weekly.
Yeah, that's a really good one. Well, guys, it's time to wrap up the show here. I really don't have any rants. I've got some shout outs. You guys got any?
I got a shout out to happy birthday, Dad. My dad, Barry Brazier, 66 today. So I hope it's been the best birthday ever. It's the best pawpaw my kids or my brother's kids could ask for. So happy birthday, Dad.
Happy birthday, Barry.
Go ahead, Dustin.
I don't have anything, man. It's just it's been we got through the holidays like we talked about, and hit the new year running.
Yeah. When I got public service now, be safe on the roads on not Saturday. Well, Saturday, Friday. Yeah, Friday and Saturday.
Snow, don't be an idiot.
Yeah,
is what Hayes saying.
Definitely that for sure. Anyways, it's not a rant. It's more of just kind of like a let's get together type of thing. So it stays with WWE. So with Monday Night Raw now being the way SmackDown's got to respond. SmackDown has to respond, and some of the storylines are throwing me off. LA Knight and Shinsuke Nakamura, like, where are they going with that?
Like, why aren't they letting LA Knight just cook him on the
mic? Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
He sort of did the last Friday, but, like, let him stand in the middle of the ring and just torch him on the mic. I'm just begging for that.
And here's the one, because I feel like with this, him and Cena, Triple H, it's time. We don't need Cody to have that whole issue in AEW like he did. It's time to turn him heel.
Yeah.
I think it's time. I've been waiting for it. I think this is perfect time after the Owens thing, maybe leading up after the Rumble, or maybe let's turn him heel at WrestleMania. Yeah.
That's why I think you see Cena take the belt from him.
I don't know. Hear me out on this one, Dusty. I don't know if Cena wins the big one at WrestleMania. Now, here's why. SummerSlam is going to be 2 nights this year.
Yeah, but WrestleMania.
See, I told AJ, I think he's winning it at WrestleMania, keeping it, making a run with it, and then at Survivor Series, the last pay-per-view of 25, he's going to do the favors, because that's what you do when you're done.
That's what
you do. The favors.
Yeah. Well, there's 2 things he's going to go for. See, here's what I think is going to happen.
Sorry.
I think he's going. I don't think he's going to win the Rumble. I don't think he will. He'll get the Intercontinental Championship, I feel like, at WrestleMania. Make him a Grand Slam champion. Hold that, maybe kind of like, how he did the U.S. Open Challenge and put some young talent over. Then he enters the King of the Ring tournament. Enters the King of the Ring tournament, wins that, gets an opportunity at SummerSlam, picks Cody. He picks Cody, and then goes over at SummerSlam, and that's number 17. That's where I think.
Give it up then he's going to give it up at Survivor Series?
I think that will be it. Yep. I think Survivor Series will be his last match. He give he gives it up at Survivor Series, and he goes out like that.
All right, well, listen, this is our wrap-up segment.
Yeah.
Rand, we talk about...
That's it. Yep. That's all I got to say. Minus SmackDown, pick it up.
All right. Got a bunch of shout-outs, especially to all of our All-State kids in volleyball. Loretto had Allie Weathers, Aubrey Zell, Becca Heineman. Shout out to her. She's going to play volleyball at Freed Hardeman. Good for her. Those are all All-State. Abby Jo Schaefer, Millie Emerson, All-State in volleyball as well. Football, I know there's been a couple lists, but Mason Tidwell, Corbin Reynolds, I think there's one other Loretto kid I'm missing on the All-State list. And then Quint Smith making first-team All-State defense, and I believe Peyton Nehas.
And the kicker, Bradley Hoffman.
Bradley Hoffman, All-State. And also had a couple of our kids get engaged over the holiday. We got Caleb Davis and Ainsley Burleson are now engaged. Congratulations to them.
Yep.
Loretto and Summertown kids there. So congratulations to them. Hope all is well with them and they live
that
long,
just
happy
shows
lives.
People can unite. That's a Loretto
Yes.
guy and a Summertown girl. So you can come together.
Yes.
folks.
After your high school career's over.
Yeah.
Not during. Not during.
Well, that'll do it here for Exports Live. Great to have everyone back. So for Hayden Burks, Dustin Kaiser, Glenn Brazier, I'm AJ Good saying so long. We'll see you guys next week.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.